As we get ready for that heat wave next week, overall, some would say Cleveland's climate, not all that bad. In fact, some say it's destined to be a climate haven. So, could it bring more people here to live? This is a question being asked as other parts of the country see more flooding, wildfires, extreme weather. News 5's Clay Lepard looks at what's drawing people to our region and what the future could look like.
There's no denying that Cleveland and Northeast Ohio has an advantage over other U.S. cities when it comes to combating climate change. Look no further than this, a nearly 10,000 square mile heat sink of sorts, capable of warming the winters and cooling the summers. That's part of the reason why Christine Parthemore and her husband moved here to Sandusky 4 years ago.
One of the better parts too is jumping in a kayak and getting out on the water.
They swapped seeing the political tides change in our nation's capital to no tide at all here along the freshwater of Lake Erie. All because Christine started seeing the world through her newborn daughter's eyes.
You think a lot about their future and whether they have clean air and clean water and those types of things.
A more maritime life instead of the sweltering heat and humidity of Washington, D.C.
Thinking about the long term for us and your family, we wanted to calculate where would we have a sustainable place where we knew we could have a safe house and fewer natural disasters, hopefully, and clean water in abundance.
They are what's known as climate migrants, those that made the move, at least in part, because of the world they saw changing around them.
It's a thing that's really moving now.
As Cuyahoga County Executive Chris Ronayne points out, this region could truly shine, brighter than the spotlight this area once captured when the river caught fire in 1969. Stemming the tide of population decline and a chance to draw in families seeking safety and stability from this country's increasing collection of wildfires, storm surges, and rising sea levels.
It's inevitable that people are going to find their way back to a place, frankly, that can absorb that migration because we were built for bigger populations back when. But around these Great Five Lakes will be the sustainable global future.
Well, the premise makes sense.
And although there are challenges here, it's not as extreme as in other parts of the country.
It's not inevitable, argues Terry Schwarz.
If we think people are going to just pull up stakes and move because of climate issues, I think we need to look at that a little bit more closely. I just don't think we know.
Her team consults with communities on answering all sorts of urban issues. Among them, what climate migration could look like.
Is it kind of crisis-driven migration when lots of people would be on the move all at once? Or is it happening, kind of gradually of people moving to the region to take advantage of opportunities and to be in a place of relative safety?
But logic isn't always reality. She points to Cleveland's declining population, while Phoenix is one of the fastest-growing cities in the country, despite crossing 110 degrees for 54 days last year. She says look at the indirect effects to see what could really convince people to move, such as insurance rates or job opportunities. However, it doesn't hurt for cities to be prepared.
My colleagues refer to this as sort of the get your house in order strategy, which simply means this, like if you're expecting guests, you clean up and get ready for them. If they don't show up, at least the house is clean for the people who are already there.
As for Christine Parthemore, she's not missing planning her walks around the scorching heat and humidity she saw in D.C.
Dealing with those more extreme temperature swings that literally shape how you live your life, it's not pleasant. I don't have any of that here in Sandusky.
Along Lake Erie, Clay Lepard, News 5.
It's a lot to think about, right? Now, studies examining climate migration to the Great Lakes region show there are things cities and the region can do to prepare themselves, including making sure affordable housing is available, restoring the urban tree canopy, reducing overall energy usage, having better stormwater management, and coordinating with each other.